Hello and welcome to our 5 on 5. Today we're sitting down with Oregon State Treasurer Tobias Read. Tobias, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, you announced you're running for governor next year. Why do you think you're the right candidate to lead our state?
I think what we need in Oregon is steady leadership to help us get past this pandemic and start laying out a vision for what we want for Oregon, and not just for the next year, not even for the next 5 years, but for the next generation. I really think what we need is to stop lurching from crisis to crisis and provide that steady leadership. I really want to measure our progress by how well our kids are doing, and I think that's something that will unite the entire state.
Now, moving back here now to the present, what is your best accomplishment as state treasurer?
I'm proud of a lot of things that we've done in the Treasury, but one that I think really stands out is our agenda to help give Oregonians the tools to achieve the financial life that they want. One good example of that is Oregon Saves, the first in the nation opt-out retirement system that's brought retirement savings plan to 115,000 people in Oregon, most of whom had never saved before. Together, they've saved over $130 million now, and that's put them on the path to having financial choices and being in control of the sort of retirement and life that they want to have.
Now, before you were elected to your current position, moving back even further now, you were a state representative from Beaverton. What from that work are you most proud of?
I think it's the relationships that I was able to build in the legislature. There's 60 members of the House. I got to know people from every part of the state, lots of different backgrounds and perspectives. And I built a reputation for someone who keeps his word, someone who can make sure that we're listening to perspectives that contribute to a better outcome. I think that is a really important thing as we come out of the pandemic, as we get to the ways that we invest in our future.
All right, Tobias, we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. We're here with Oregon State Treasurer Tobias Read, who has thrown his hat into the running for state governor. Now, Oregon's next governor faces a number of hurdles, from pandemic recovery to homelessness and beyond. And here in Southern Oregon, we were blanketed by smoke this summer. Now, what should the state do to prevent catastrophic wildfires, in your opinion?
Well, I think it's two things, and I've developed these ideas largely because of the role I got to play as co-chair of the governor's Wildfire Economic Recovery Council, and by spending time in the communities that have been so impacted by wildfires. Part of it, I think, is on the front end, what we can do to make our communities less susceptible to wildfires. That ranges from how we build infrastructure, what tools we offer to homeowners and property owners. And then it also, I think, is a matter of making sure that communities are better able to recover more quickly. It takes real investment. It takes creative approaches to creating the housing that was eviscerated in the wildfires. I think there's different types of housing that we've got to be prepared to replace and do it better, not just thinking about how we replace what was there, but making those pieces of infrastructure much more resilient. On top of that, I think making sure that there is a better communication system that allows communities to be reacting more quickly. We heard really awful stories about community members who were lucky enough just to get a phone call or to wake up and see something that caused them to evacuate. That's not good enough. And as we start to rebuild, we need to take advantage of the federal support that allows us to bring broadband to communities that didn't have it, perhaps. That's not only a good thing for public safety, but it allows for additional resilience and economic development potential. We have to listen to the communities that know what they need and recognize that they're going to be different in circumstances that vary across the state. But the sad truth is that these wildfires are not going anywhere. We're entering a new era where what once seemed anomalous is going to be the new norm. So we've got to be prepared for those things.
Now, something else that Oregon is dealing with is, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, you think Oregon school children should get vaccinated for COVID once doses receive full FDA approval. Now, that is something that could upset a lot of parents. How did you come to that decision?
It's really personal for me. We have two kids. Our daughter is in 7th grade. She just turned 12 a couple of weeks ago, so she was able to be vaccinated finally at long last. Our son, on the other hand, is in 3rd grade and he's not able to be vaccinated. And I understand people's concerns. I understand people can be anxious, and I think they should talk to their healthcare providers. I take that seriously. But in the end, I just don't think it's okay for people to endanger kids. And the science is clear. This is the way we get out of the pandemic. The pandemic is also what is in front of all the other things that we want to do, being able to make sure that every kid has access to pre-kindergarten, that every Oregonian who wants it has access to apprenticeships and job training, that we're investing in clean energy that puts us on a more resilient footing relative to wildfires and other threats. All of those things I think will serve Oregon well, but we can't make the progress on that we need to until we get control of the virus. And vaccines are the way to do it. We have the power to do this, and we just need to make sure that we're making progress on it by being more aggressive. There are 8 other vaccines that are required for students right now in Oregon schools. And as soon as the FDA approves it, I think COVID should be added to that list.
All right, Tobias. Well, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for the invitation.
We'll be right back after this.